Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look here at Enjin, and just before we do, peek over at Bitcoin, see what's going on with that bad boy. And that's not metaphorical at all. It's been very, very bad in recent past. That's why I say that. But simply put, we had about a 27% correction in 16 hours, probably the largest correction we've seen ever. It typically only stops at about 10 to 15%. That's usually a bad day, but this was a terrible day in that sense. Now, not bad at all because it gives us a better buying opportunity to average our cost down. Always dollar cost average in cases like this. Put money aside to ensure you can buy the dip and afford to do so. Try not to just put everything you got, every last egg in your basket in there because there's things like this happen all the time. Okay. Now, unfortunately, world events plus the actual CME gap as well that had to get filled. This made a big impact on things, right? So this gap that we saw there got filled right here. And then, of course, we had the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that factored in, plus the world news. So there's a lot of the things that kind of factor in here for Bitcoin having sold off the way it did. That's why I'm not super concerned in the big picture. I think the bottom is in. I feel 42,000 is absolutely the bottom. But right now, 48,000 is trying to work itself as a support level. So we'll see if that one-day candlestick can close above there. That'll be very helpful. And also bear in mind, too, you still want to set money aside. Try not to buy everything you can right now because Monday hasn't occurred yet. And there's a lot of negativity in the news. When the stock market opens up again, there's a gap down and the pre-market hours are selling off. We're going to see something like that occur here soon. So keep that in mind. That has a lot to do with this, too. So be prepared for that. Try not to go all in. As per usual, never all in, just dollar cost average, little bits at a time. Okay, I've been adding small portions to my portfolios as we go along, and it's helping, of course. Just set those limit orders. It's all good. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and move on to Enjin. And just before we do, of course, I'll go and get this set up here. I'm not a financial advisor, just want to let you know that. I love teaching people how to trade, however, and it's like kind of just something I love doing and I'm passionate about it. I've been trading for over 15 years, so if you want to become a better trader, consider joining my Patreon community. Really awesome group of folks there. I'm actually going to be developing websites soon too to fully automate the process, but for right now, it is just an awesome collective. I am so super proud of my patrons recently for coming together and just having a great environment to kind of offload and to learn as much as you can in these situations because there's explainable reasons as to why this happened. It's not like it's a surprise, right? So if you understand that, you can kind of prepare for it better, and we're all kind of ready for this, if you will. Granted, we couldn't see it happening until it happened, unfortunately. It was just one of those things, but sometimes that occurs, and you need to be able to kind of come together and unite. So thanks again. You know who you are. I greatly and deeply appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so Enjin coin, let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So we got to obviously redraw out some of these Fibonacci retracement lines. And I believe this, we'll leave this line here because that was the previous high. Yeah. So, okay, so we'll leave the all-time high there, the previous all-time high, and the current is there as well. And we'll go ahead and see where we're at. So let's go ahead and start with, first of all, 7 moving averages. This is awesome, potentially awesome. Okay. More than likely, though, we're going to see the price kind of average out above that. Granted, this candlestick has about 5 hours before it closes, but what we can see is the 50-day 7 moving average kind of coming into play here, where the price action shouldn't go much lower than that. Now, traditionally, the 50-day 7 moving average isn't one thing we need to worry about normally, right? When we have sell-off like this, though, it's really important to understand that that could very well happen. In other words, a bounce off the 50 is very normal on the 1-day candlesticks, right? That's probably the most weighted moving average you could consider because in the last 50 days, that's what the average price should be, right? And if it's below that, consider resistance. Above, consider support. And right now, we can estimate that should be a support level soon. Let's go ahead and draw out the Fibonacci retracement levels real quick. And we'll go ahead and go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and go with the 4 hours, see what's up. We've got a potential death cross that's going to occur. This doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. It just means that that's usually a phenomenon that occurs that pushes the price action down, kind of like a bearish divergence on the MACD. It kind of just pushes the price down. I don't think it's going to need any more push down any further, honestly. Enjin has a tremendous amount of volume in this area. I think that the volume is really close to the price action. So we have the most amount of volume accumulation between, what, 285 and 310. That tells us that that's going to be a potential resistance level, right, for one. But also for two, it's kind of the average price, right? So we shouldn't expect to see the price drop down from there because most people have a position open in this area. So they're going to think that it's affordable. And once we get the RSI back up over 50, which is likely not over 50 right now, yep, we can expect that to be considered more bullish, right? For right now, definitely we got some bearish sentiment. There's no other way around it. That's kind of standard. Some really good coins right now, like the Lunas, Sandbox, handful of others. I think KuCoin too. They're breaching 50 on the RSI, which is normally a really good sign. Not to say this is a bad sign for Enjin. It's just not as motivated or recovering as quickly as some of the other coins. But it still has very good behavior too, right? If that makes sense. We're at the 50 on the 1-day chart, and ultimately I think we got some pretty good stuff going for us. But we don't have those like buy signals, if that makes any sense. Like Luna was one of them. Actually, that one's definitely fantastic right now. That one has a lot of buy signals. But anyways, right now, for the most part, we're more neutral on Enjin from what I can see here. And I think that we're going to see the price probably kind of continue around between 260 and 340. I'm saying that loosely because we might see a correction on Monday, but we also see a lot of volume accumulation between 280 and 310. So the price should probably stay in this range here. I don't expect it to just go ramp up immediately unless there's some crazy fundamental catalyst. There's no reason for it to do that right now. Okay, we can got to get back up over 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour, and then on the 1-hour here, let's see where we're at in the cloud. We're probably still, yeah. So okay, here's some positive, right? Take a look at this. This is a good sign, right? This basically tells us we're seeing a trend reversal. So in other words, obviously that bearish trend reversal is going to occur. The next 5 hours, we have this lagging span that will intersect with the price action, telling anyone that has a short position to close their position. Okay. Furthermore, we've got the baseline below the conversion line. That's excellent news. That needs to happen for us to take comfortable entry. Furthermore, we need to make sure the price is above the cloud. So just say hypothetically the price goes sideways, right? For the next 5 to 10 hours. The lagging span intersects there and the conversion line stays above the baseline. Those would be all the things we need to see mostly to take entry. And I say mostly because we ultimately want to have the lagging span above the price action, but it'll probably be there inevitably right here anyways. So again, really good things in that sense. It's not bullish by any sense of the imagination right now, but it's trending towards that, right? And most coins do kind of have this behavior. The only apprehension I have is the fact that Monday, if the market goes down by 5%, we're going to see another correction here, closer to 42,000 for Bitcoin, which will effectively reset all this progress we've seen here so far. Okay, so the fact that this is synonymous with Bitcoin right now and it's not breaking free like Luna and Mana and a handful of other ones tells me that we might see a correction further from it, Enjin. So just be mindful of that, be prepared. I would just say again, dollar cost average, you're going to hear that as a common denominator in all my videos here in the near future, based on the simple fact that we don't truly know what Bitcoin is going to do next. Once we do understand that, we get a little bit more affirmation, then coins like this will make much more sense until they break free from Bitcoin. So once that alt season occurs, we got to kind of treat things like this right now. Okay. So again, not terrible, not great. I would say more neutral for Enjin. Just be cautious and careful. Dollar cost average if this is your coin, and wait for see what happens on Monday. If that knee-jerk reaction occurs, save some money, put some money aside in the USDT right now, or whatever account tether you want to do for it. Okay. So just heads up on that. All right, so that's all I got here for you so far. Thanks again for joining me here. Once again, thank you so much to my patrons for just being amazing people. If you want to consider becoming one, link in the description below. I have a descriptive video regarding what that entails, and it's just an amazing community where you can effectively become a better trader. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.